I just need to get this filming out of the way. These products have been on my floor for around about 6 weeks. I walked in here and fell over earlier on because I tripped over one of the products, and I just thought to myself, you know, I just need to clear up. But in order to clear up, I need to get this filming out of the way. This has been overwhelming beyond belief because there are so many products to fit in this video. So I have made a decision. We're going to do faves and fails of the last 8 weeks or so, but we're going to do it in 2 parts. So this part is my more luxury high-end faves and fails, and then we're going to do a more affordable drugstore version a little bit later on. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to film it straight away, so it's the next video, or whether we're going to have a bit of a gap in between. But anyway, I have waffled enough, so let's just get on with it. I'm procrastinating. I'm trying to put it off for that little bit longer. I haven't prepped this at all, other than I have all the products laid out over here. Wish me luck. Grab a snack, grab a cuppa. Let's get on with it. Kicking off this video with a little bit of news that I only found out about a couple of days ago, and I have been desperate to share. This is so exciting. You know, I talk about OneSkin products all the time. Well, the reason I talk about them is because they have been successful. We have seen results, both myself and my mum. So I swear by their products. They have a new product coming out. Actually, by the time this video goes live, it will already be out. I don't have it to hold up because I haven't received it yet, but I'm hoping I will share the results on the other platform and how to use it, etc. So this is an OS1 hair product. It is a scalp treatment, a peptide scalp treatment, and I am wanting big things from this because I have received big things from all the other products. I will link it in the description box if you want to learn more about it now. I can't tell you any more about it because I haven't tried it yet, but I wanted to make you aware that it is on the horizon. You will be able to get your hands on it by the time this video goes live, and I am super excited. My hair is thinning dramatically as I'm aging, and I'm hoping that this is going to be able to reverse that, because OS1 peptide can do some phenomenal things, and it is clinically proven to reverse the skin's biological age. So will it be able to grow me some more hair and give me a thicker head of hair? I'm really hoping so. Again, link is in the description box for anybody wanting to learn more about it now, but I will be back with hopefully some results. Talking about hair products, I bought these a few weeks ago. Aren't these the most beautiful bottles you have ever seen in your life? These are from Oribe, and they are the brand new Serene Scalp Densifying Shampoo and Conditioner. I swear by Oribe products. It is a huge chunk out of my bank balance every single time I buy them, but my hair loves the Gold Lust shampoo and conditioner and other products as well. So I had high hopes for these. These did not work for me at all. I don't know whether these were eventually going to entice new hair growth. I hope that they would. But in the meantime, in the interim, these made my hair look like straw. These seriously dried out my hair like no tomorrow. My hair was just unmanageable, untamable. I looked like Garth out of Wayne's World. It was not a good look for me at all. At all. So it took me a good couple of weeks to get my hair back in manageable order. Really, really smooth and silky soft. They seem to go really rigid after using these, and yeah, I'm miffed with myself. I really am. I'm glad I tried them, but £100 is a huge amount of money to waste on a product that I can no longer use. Let's talk about a product that I've already spoken about in the last video. These are from Reason, and they are the blushes. So these are creamy, moussey, like textured blushes. They have a lot of staying power. There's only 2 shades to choose from. I have both of them. So this one is Burnt Peach, which is my favorite. As you can see, it's more heavily used. And then this one is Fresh Rose. absolutely stunning, both of these. So this is much girlier and fresher. It's got a little bit more of a girly vibe with it being pink, but it's not overly blue on the undertone, so I can get away with wearing this and still look nice with my undertone. This one though is just perfection on me. It just makes me look like I'm slightly windswept. You know that where you've been out for a little bit too long, maybe without your SPF on your cheeks. Perfect blushes, and yeah, so easy to use. I like to use mine with my Refa 17 brush because these fit in the pot really, really nicely. A little goes a very long way. These are gonna last a very long time, and a lot of staying power on the cheek. I have been waiting for more multi-peptide serums to become available on the market for the longest time. I'm a huge fan of a good peptide complex. I'm waiting, and then all of a sudden 10 different serums come out at once, and they are all fabulous. This one is no exception. It's from Medicate, and it's the Liquid Peptides Advanced MP. This is wrinkle reduction serum, and it's got 30% multi-peptide complex with growth factors. So if you have 2 serums at the moment, one for growth factors, one for a peptide complex, you can team both of those products together just in this one product. This is smoothing, this is wrinkle reducing, this is hydrating and nourishing. It has the most beautiful silky texture to it. It's really milky and soft and gives you that lovely subtle glow, no radiance whatsoever. It is not sticky, it is not uncomfortable on the skin. You can definitely tell it is hydrating immediately. It plumps, it smooths, it's just glorious. A little goes a very long way. So for my entire face and for my neck, I use 1 pump of product. So that 1 pump will do all of this surface area and all of this as well, including my ears. Don't forget your ears. A lot of people do forget their ears. I know it's not SPF, but you know, you don't want your ears to age either, do you? And you know, I have very young ears. Have you heard anyone say that ever? No, me either. Also, don't forget the backs of the hands. I think a lot of people overlook this area, so any excess product I have on my fingertips, I always rub into the backs of my hands. This does leave a little bit of a tacky residue at first. However, bear with it, it does eventually go. As soon as the product is fully absorbed, you get a really smooth surface, no tackiness, no stickiness. It does feel hydrated, but if you over apply this, you are going to get that stickiness, and it is going to stick around for quite some time. I think the trick with this is to apply in small quantities because you don't need a lot, and this is quite a pricey product, so you know, save it, use it over a longer period of time, get the most out of it. You only need a little bit. Let's do a little bit of a Vieve section. I have a lot of Vieve products I want to talk to you about. Let's start with the one that disappointed me the most. This is the Vieve Sunset Blush Balm. Now, I have Sunset blush balms in different shades. It is not the actual product that disappointed me, it's this shade. So if you can see, this shade is like an orangey red. It definitely has a warmer undertone to it. However, when I applied this, it comes out of the tube, it does look a little bit bluey, not gonna lie. As soon as you swatch this, the blue undertones seriously start to show, and unfortunately for me, it didn't go with my undertone and started to make me look like I got blush on rather than it was a natural flush. It just didn't look natural on me, which is a real shame. I can just see the blue in this. It's jumping out at me straight away. So I was a little bit disappointed. I was expecting it to be the same as the packaging. It wasn't. It's no big deal. I absolutely love the product itself in other shades, but this shade wasn't for me. So this is the shade Straub. If you have an undertone like mine, which is neutral, more dominant warm, I would probably steer clear of this, but there are so many other shades within this product that will suit you fantastically. I also ordered the Vieve Soul Shadows in the shade Guilt. Look how beautiful these shades are. I wore this in my brown video, you know, can you remember the video where I was wearing all brown, brown background, even brown socks? I did have bronzy brown eyeshadow on as well. That was this palette, and it is a glorious palette, but there is a but. As beautiful as these shadows are, and they are absolutely divine. I mean, look at the shade selection in here. It is stunning. These mattes are creamy, smooth and soft, very easy to blend out. The metallics are quite hard pressed, but very easy to apply and look stunning on the lid. I'm not quite sure why I wasn't wowed by these. I have no answer for you. All I can say is it's not that I was underwhelmed, I just wasn't so excited when I'd got them on my lid. I don't know whether that's a shade thing, whether it's a shadow thing, I don't know. I do know that I would have preferred this palette to be slightly smaller. You do get a lot for your money in the Vieve quads. That's a definite positive, but I wish for the size of the palette that maybe they'd made the pan sizes a little bit smaller and fitted 2 other shades in possibly, or just made this whole thing a lot smaller, a little bit like the Charlotte Tilbury sized palettes. But I do think it is a lovely palette. I'm just a little bit confused as to why I'm not gravitating to this more. I've worn this a couple of times and then it's sort of been stuck in my drawer. New favorites that I am lapping up though, this modern lip definer from Vieve in the shade Peached. It is the most beautiful neutral shade, which is very close to my natural lip color. This is smooth, creamy, soft, but not too soft. It also isn't waxy at all, but once this sticks, it sticks. So I don't find it a dehydrating product. I also don't find it nourishing, which, you know, most lip liners aren't nourishing products, but because it's not a dehydrating product, I can apply this all over my lips and not have to worry about it. Maybe I just apply it all over my lip and then apply either a lip balm or a lip gloss over the top and get on with my day. Absolutely love that. Talking about lip glosses though, I have a couple from Vieve which I have loved and continue to love. This one surprised me slightly. So this is a new shade, I believe. It's called Cherub and it is a bright fuchsia pink, but you possibly would think that this would not suit me at all, but I think it's really, really special. I only apply a little bit. Look how that just lifts. Oh, I just absolutely love it. So I don't lather this on. I don't have it super, super punchy, vibrant fuchsia pink, but I do think that little subtle glow of pink is incredibly flattering. And depending on what blush I'm wearing, it just sings. Last up from Vieve, we've got the Super Skin Nova Moisture Rich Primer. If you absolutely love the Skin Nova Primer, which gives you that radiance, it also gives you some hydration, but you have really dry skin, which tends to show more and more throughout the day, you need to get your hands on this. So this is a radiant primer, but it's punchy on the moisture. It's seriously, seriously nourishing, not for the faint-hearted. This is very similar, I would say, to the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, but this gives that radiance, that glow to the skin as well. So really beautiful, really radiant, great base for the rest of your products if you have dry skin. I definitely wouldn't recommend this to anybody that doesn't have dry skin. If you don't have dry skin, go for the original Skin Nova Primer, which is absolutely beautiful and much lighter in weight than this. This is a heavier, richer formulation, suitable for those people who have dry or really dry skin. If you're wanting to prep the skin for maybe a matte foundation, this is the one. It's stunning. Another product that I was underwhelmed by is this eyebrow pencil from Bare Minerals. This is the Mineralist Micro Defining Brow Pencil, and it is in the shade Coffee. So I went and swatched, I think, every single shade of these and thought this was probably going to be the closest match to me, but when I got it home and actually put it in my brows, this is really quite red. It's a very, very warm brown, which definitely didn't suit me. Not only that though, because that is my fault, that is not the product's fault. I picked the wrong shade. I'm never really a huge fan of these sorts of tips, so I'm hoping that Louisa will be able to get you a close-up of what this actually looks like from their website, but it's a triangular point to this, and I'm not going to be able to show you this properly on camera, but there is no way of keeping this sharp. I was hoping that this would have a sharpener that came with it, but really the only way that you can sharpen it is by wasting the product, getting a piece of paper or a mirror and sliding this back and forth like you'd sharpen a knife to try and get a point on this again, because once you've used it a few times, this goes really quite dull, and other than that, there's no way of getting it back into the correct shape all over again. It does make a really nice line, so it can be really defining for your brows, and also because of the size of it, you can also fill in the brows relatively quickly. But yeah, it's just not my thing. Let's talk about eyeshadows. I've got a couple of the Charlotte Tilbury Palette of Beautifying Eye Trends. So from left to right, I have the palette Super Neutral and Emerald Effect. Both of these absolutely glorious, so worth the money. When I first saw them, I was disappointed because I thought that really does not look like luxury packaging. I'm sure I'm paying for the luxury packaging and it has not arrived. This is very plasticky. This looks more affordable than on the luxury high-end scale. But I went into Charlotte Tilbury and bought these with my own money. These did not come in PR, and I asked the sales assistant about the concept behind the packaging, and she said that they had been told that these were created for makeup artists that want to find the shades quickly in their kit. So makeup artists had given them feedback that all those little palettes that Charlotte Tilbury has, you can't tell which one is which unless you turn them over and see the actual shade. These, you can see the colors, the shade range, which palette you're grabbing for in a rush. The quality of the shadows are superb. They are glitzy, they are glam, but the glitters can be subtle if you want them to be. I just think they are so super flattering, really unique and classy, elegant. My favorite is Super Neutral. However, you know I love a green. You know I love a green. Emerald Effect is also gorgeous. Talking about luxury eyeshadows in luxury packaging, Victoria Beckham never disappoints. You can always guarantee to get luxury at Victoria Beckham Beauty, and these eyeshadows, no exception whatsoever. They are absolutely stunning, exquisite. So I have these green shadows on my eyes today. This is the look that I've created, and I just think it is super beautiful. The eyeshadow palettes are actually magnetic, so fit in the packaging with magnets and they do not move at all. But if you wanted to save a little bit of money, if you're not really into luxury packaging, you just want the luxury product, you can just buy these eyeshadows. They come as a 4, and as long as you keep them safe, they will be absolutely fine. I really like the luxury packaging, so I bought 2 lots of the packaging, 2 lots of the eyeshadows, and I am not disappointed by that. I just think they are beautiful. I wait for the day where I can pull these out of my handbag just to use the mirror and touch up my makeup a little bit, because I just think They're just so, so sweet. The Elemis Pro Collagen Black Cherry Cleansing Balm has become a new favorite for me. Yes, it's quite pricey. Yes, these are scented, and I think the scent is half of the experience with these products. So I would always recommend, if you are going to buy an Elemis product, that you go and you smell this first. I love this. It's quite sweet, but it has that hint of sourness as well, and it has that typical texture of every other Elemis cleansing balm. Really smooth, not sticky, lemon curd thickness, consistency. It also looks like lemon curd, but without the stickiness. It melts into the skin, it pulls away impurities, it leaves the moisture behind so your skin isn't stripped. It takes off any waterproof makeup, foundation, SPF, grime. It's just a lovely, lovely product, and I feel really looked after and special every single time I use it. The YSL Make Me Blush powder blushes also didn't disappoint me. I knew I was going to love these. I wasn't quite sure about this shade here, but actually it's one of my favorites. It's the one that I reach for most frequently. There are two different finishes in this. You have a matte version, which is very velvety, and you also have a more radiant version. So it's not sparkle that you're going to see from the other side of the street. It's more of a metallic sheen on the cheek. It works as a highlighter, which is extremely subtle, not your normal highlighter, but it does give that little subtle glow to the cheek. So I have two shades, 37 and 93. A new find for me is from Haus Labs. It's the B Structural Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara, and I've been really impressed with this. The wand isn't usually the type of wand that I would go for on a daily basis, but boy does it work. So this is quite a fluffy, chunky brush, and considering that this formula is quite a dry formula, it's really quick to apply. Now, when I say it's a dry formula, it's not a wet formula. It's not a liquidy formula. It is quite creamy and nourishing on the lashes. So if you like a creamy formula, I think you're going to like this. But it really is quick to apply, which you know I like. I don't have a lot of time in the morning. I can't be bothered faffing for hours and hours and hours to try and get the volume in my lashes. 2 coats of this and my lashes are va-va-va-voom, like a punch in the gut. I can't say I've noticed a lot of lengthening with this, but to be quite honest, that's not the reason that I wanted to try this in the first place. It was for the volume capabilities, and it definitely gave me that. 2 coats, absolutely stunning. If you want to go seriously over the top, 3 coats and you will be blown away. So I really, really like this. It does hold a curl, but not significantly. So I would say it doesn't hold a curl as well as my waterproof formulas, but it holds a curl better than some of my normal non-waterproof formulas. So for me, this is one to layer up over the top of a waterproof mascara. And yeah, I'm in love with it. I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's superb. It wouldn't be a proper faves and fails unless I at least mention this product. This is the brand new Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. It is my favorite of the moment. I have talked about it to death in previous videos, so if you want more detail, check out the standalone review that I did on it. But it's so smoothing, it's airbrushing, it doesn't crease on me, it's high coverage, great pigmentation, you hardly need any whatsoever. The one tip I will give you is don't apply this directly underneath the eye, because I guarantee you will apply too much and then it will crease. Apply it on the back of your hand and then very sparingly apply it where you need it with a brush. And yeah, solid all day long. Superb quality. I just love it. Really love it. I have to mention the Neck and Deck Series 2 from Current Body. This is such a good product, and it has, I think, either 4 or 5 times the amount of LEDs in here for anti-aging purposes, to decrease that pigmentation, crepiness, skin texture, fine lines, wrinkles, even out the skin tone, increase firmness and suppleness and collagen and elastin production. LED does pretty much everything other than make you a cup of tea first thing in the morning, which is all right for me because I don't like tea anyway, so, you know, I'm not offended. So if you want to treat a wider surface area, then you definitely can. Also, they've introduced deep near infrared around that central portion of the chest where you get a lot of visible signs of aging, because this is the area of your chest that tends to be open to the elements a little bit more often. So I just think it's a triumph, absolute triumph. Wanted to mention it. I know I've only just mentioned it in a previous video, but it's definitely worth mentioning it again. I do have an offer code for you. I'll put it in the description box. I'm a little standoffish when it comes to trying physical exfoliants for the face. I do like a non-physical exfoliant, like an acid exfoliant. Physical exfoliants used to be a little bit too abrasive for my skin, and I have a tendency of going in a bit too vigorously and over exfoliating and then just damaging my skin barrier, and then we're in a whole load of mess. I'm a little bit happier using a physical exfoliant on my body, but generally not my face. Until now, and you do have to be careful with this one. You can quite easily over exfoliate, but for some reason my skin loves this. And I've got to say, I do too. It's from Ursa Major and it's the Green Slate Mineral Polish. After I've used this, I feel like my skin has had a very gentle dermabrasion, and it's just baby soft and glowy and bouncy, and there isn't a hint of dead skin left on my face. My only bugbear with this, and it's a major bugbear, is that because of the grittiness of the texture, I really struggle when I'm in the bath, because I feel like, you know, when you've been to the beach all day and you get sand all over yourself, and then instead of having a shower, you have a bath and you've got all the grits in the bottom of the bath, which is incredibly uncomfortable, and then you let the bath out, you think it's all gone. The day after, you run a bath and the grit's all still there because you haven't properly washed the bath out the night before. That's what this does. So I would advise using this in the shower, but if you are a bath girl like me, then you need to get your cleaning mitts on straight after you've let the bath out, because this does linger for a little bit of time. A little bit like when you use one of those body oils that's got glitter in it and glitter just keeps on turning up months after. Same as this. Moving on from that, if I do over exfoliate my skin and cause a little bit of irritation, dryness or peeling, or I've just tried a product that just doesn't agree with me and I get quite a bit of inflammation, this product, which is a relatively new find for me, is the one that I turn to. It didn't used to be this product, it now is. So this is the Save Your Skin All-in-One Repair Balm from Dermalect. I've got to tell you, I first tried this, I thought it was hideous, and then I learned how to use it properly. So I properly lathered this on the first time I wore it. It was suffocating, it's oily, it's thick, it's just really, really uncomfortable. It gives you that warm sensation. And then I realized I'd applied way too much. You need the tiniest amount to make the biggest difference. So when I first applied this to my skin, I thought it had a similar consistency to the CeraVe Repair Balm. Is it? Repair Ointment, I think it is. It's very thick. It's got a slight oiliness to it, which gives it a bit of a slip on the skin, but it is super rich, very, very nourishing, and a little bit greasy. So you apply the tiniest amount. And when I say a tiny amount, the bit that I've just showed you on the back of my hand would probably do my entire face 2 times over, and my neck. So you need a pinprick amount for the entire skin. It does leave a film on the surface, which is what you want if you have an impaired skin barrier, any irritation, and that film is slightly oily to begin with, but within 5 minutes, if you haven't applied too much, that oiliness has sank into the skin. It is not sticky anymore, it doesn't have a tacky residue, and you can go to sleep not having to worry about getting this all over your pillow and waking up in a greasy mess the morning after. The weight of this product is where it excels. If you can cope with the heaviness, you will absolutely love this. Okay, I think that is enough for one video. I feel like I've been talking very, very quickly for the last 3 hours. I hope this video doesn't end up being 3 hours long, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with it all the way to the end. If that is you, please put a comment in the comment section. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and I really hope to see you all in the next video, which will possibly be the affordable version of this one. I just need to gear myself up for it and take a throat strepsil or something. See you later.